Hey guys, it's Casey and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm joined by my two guests. I have guinea pig 1 Maui and guinea pig 2 Pua. They wanted to come in the video and I thought that, it would be nice to have them because they don't get to be in the videos very much because they're weird girls. We've been having some adjustment time with them because I've been home, so I'm now aware of some things that go on. But speaking of which, I wanted to let you guys know that I hope these videos bring you, if you watch, some kind of joy, because I know that it's a very uncertain, they both want to climb up. I know that it's a very uncertain time right now, and I know that a lot of people are, concerned or worried about what's going to happen. Good girl. And I know that it's an adjustment for everyone. It's been an adjustment for me. I'm used to going to work every day, and I'm not at work because teachers are shut down. This is only like a week and a half for me. I got lucky that we shut down like 2 weeks after other schools did. So this is only a week and a half for me being like in quarantine, but I know a lot of people have been in it for longer, and that we're about another month or so before we'll be kind of back to like normal. At least that's what they're saying for Illinois. So I hope you guys are holding up. I hope you guys are doing okay. Something I'm doing right now that I think is a really, really good idea is I'm keeping a journal. This is just a journal I got from Walgreens, and I've had it for a long time. And I've had every intention of like being a journaler when I got this, and I just didn't. And the front says, "Today is a story worth telling." But I have been journaling every day about my thoughts, my feelings, just because I think it's important, to get those out, because I know a lot of people are scared, worried, nervous, unsure, maybe they're being directly affected by what's going on, or, maybe you're someone like me who is just kind of out of work and doesn't really know what to do with themselves. So find comfort in the fact that you guys are not alone and everyone's in it together, and it's, it's a state and world issue, and that, we're going to get through it. So without further ado, that is not the point of this video. This video is I'm going to be doing a updated piercing ranking. I will try to put pictures. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm going to be doing an updated piercing ranking, pain-wise, and just overall idea about like what I feel about piercings and how the ones I have, felt like. So let's go. So the first piercing I'm going to talk about is just my front lobes. They're pretty standard, pretty basic. I don't really remember them. I was in kindergarten, I think, when I got them, and I don't think they were an issue. I was so young that I don't really remember, but they're flesh, so. My other ones were the same. I don't really remember getting my second or thirds. My fourths, I did myself, and they were probably maybe like a 2. It wasn't quite cartilage yet, so it was more like fleshy, so I say they were a 2. My upper cartilages, these were probably like a 3, like in the sense that they maybe hurt more than like my lobes, but yet they didn't hurt as bad as I thought they were going to. Hi. Or they didn't hurt as bad as like, I was told they were going to. So just in general, they were maybe like a 3, and I think the healing was maybe like a couple weeks to maybe like 6 months. I'm a big believer in not changing piercings until they're ready, and listening to your piercer, and just all around listening to the professionals who tell you like when you can do things. So I think I probably left them in like the full 6 to 8 weeks or whatever. But yeah, just listen to your piercer, and they weren't that bad. Now getting on to the more bigger piercings, my belly button, which I currently don't have anymore, that was maybe about a 4, and the healing was maybe a 5 or a 6 in terms of like hard and like being a pain, because I feel like the healing went really well the first time I got it done, And then after about a year or two, it started to migrate and reject, which is very common for surface piercings, so it's totally fine. Yeah, I just started to reject, and that's, you know, quite normal. I was also really young. I was in 8th grade. So I just think in terms of that, like, it was just normal. So yeah, maybe about like a 4 and then like a 5 around there. My tragus, which I don't have, was like a 2. Like, I honestly didn't feel that. I felt some pressure, but then that was really it. I didn't really feel anything else. Even when they like threaded the jewelry back through, that unfortunately I do not have, just because it just didn't work out, sadly, and I loved that piercing. But it just didn't work out with me. But yeah, like, there was no bumps, there was no real issue. It eventually just didn't feel right anymore. But that's all there is to that. My rook on this side, I would say, was maybe a 5, but the healing was an 8. The piercing itself didn't hurt that bad. More pressure than anything. It is quite a thick piece of cartilage, so it wasn't too bad. Just like I said, hi guys, you should see these girls on my lap right now. Just a lot of pressure, but it got really swollen and I'm pretty sure it got like infected, and it took me about a full 1.5 years to fully heal it. So just in terms of that, I feel like it was not the easiest piercing, but also not the worst. I also made the mistake of going 2 weeks after and getting my other rook done, which you shouldn't do because you're not supposed to sleep on that side. So I basically eliminated sleeping on any side of my body, which I am 100% a side sleeper. So again, it just was not the best situation. But again, like, both were maybe like a 2 or a 3, but the healing was really, really rough, and it was about a full 1.5 years for both before they really got to like a good point where I felt like they were healed enough to do anything with. So yeah. The next was my conch. I'm not doing these in order, I'm just doing them how they're falling. I'm doing ears right now. The next was my conch, and pain-wise for that was maybe about a 5. I need to keep an eye on the guinea pigs. That was maybe about a 5, but healing was like a 2. It's the only piercing that has never really given me issues. It's the only piercing that really didn't swell. I have never, knock on wood, I've never developed bumps or keloids or anything on any of my piercings. I've been very lucky that my body seems to do okay with piercings, and they don't really like fight with each other, I should say, and they don't get that irritated. However, this was maybe like a 5, but the healing was like the easiest ever. Like, I did the salt soaks, and I felt like it was healed in literally 3 weeks. Now, I know it was about a year, because that's what I was told by my very reputable and trusted piercer, that it takes about a year. And it's also a pretty thick piece of cartilage right there, so I know that, like, it wasn't healed. It just felt really good. And I've heard that that's really common with conches, that they're a pretty easy piercing. So, yeah. The next is my nose. This was probably about the same. It was probably maybe like a 4 when I did it. It definitely made my eye water on the side, and it definitely, like, I felt like I wanted to sneeze. Hey. But, like, healing-wise, it was literally like a 1. Like, my nose didn't swell that bad. It was never really that tender. To this day, besides this one, I'm not going to this day, it's the only piercing that has never really gotten, like, swollen or irritated or angry. Like, it's just kind of what it is. Like, and I've had it since I was 17, and I'm 31. So do the math. It's been, like, 13 years. And yeah, it's been like 13 or 14 years. So it's one of my oldest and favoriteest piercings. I love it. I have a stud in right now. Usually I have a ring in, but due to everything going on, I just thought a stud was better, like maybe a little safer, a little easier. But yeah, so that's that one. Now, leading to my most recent piercing, which I don't think I did a video on, so if you guys want a video on this, comment below and I might do one anyways, but just let me know, is my daith, which is, I'll insert a picture, I'll try. My daith piercing, that getting pierced was literally like 7. I felt a lot of pressure and a really great big pinch. Now, it wasn't unmanageable. I didn't like cry or scream or like, it wasn't anything like that. I mean, if you're someone who does piercings, you kind of understand piercing pain. It's like a sharp, dull pain and then like an ache, so it's not anything that's like unmanageable. Like, I don't think any piercing is really unmanageable. Like, me personally, I don't feel like there's any piercing that I've had that I've gotten that like I wouldn't do again because the pain was too bad. Like, all my piercings weren't that bad. I would happily do them again if I had to. But that hurt quite a bit doing it, and the healing is like a 9. And I've read this about this piercing, that it's one of the harder ones to heal just because of where it is, and it's a tight space, and because it's a tight space, and it's quite hard to get in there and clean. But yeah, like, I'm obsessed with it. It's one of my favorite piercings, and I love it. And I cannot wait. I've had it since December. Hey. I cannot wait to be able to change it out and do more things and put, like, a funkier jewelry in it, like a different barbell. I think I want to stick with barbell because I like the look, and because I just think it's better for piercings to be barbelled than, like, a hoop, because hoops rotate and they slide, and hi, baby. And I feel like it's really, come here. And I feel like it's really, really hard to keep piercings healthy with hoops. In terms of like piercings like that, that's like cartilage and other stuff, just because it does get irritated. But yeah. So that was kind of my updated little piercing pain scale. If you want, stop it. If you want me to go more in depth into my piercings, please let me know. I love talking about them. They're one of my favorite things to talk about. And yeah, so from me and the little Goonie pigs over here, Miss Pua and Maui, I hope you guys have a happy and healthy week. Stay safe. Stay indoors. You know, we'll get through this together, and I will see you guys in a few days. Bye.